How about a big welcome for Marianne Sheridan? Hey kids, welcome to another episode of Ride a Lesbian with me, Marianne Sheridan, your token lesbian. I thought what I'd do today is film while I'm chatting with one of my faithful viewers. And I'll give the shout out to that viewer just for the shits and giggles. Kelly, out in Seattle. Hello. Yep, you're right on here. Got your little IM right there. You'll hear the jingles as they come. And being that's my idea for today, I figured I'd discuss online friends and relationships and all that kind of stuff. I find that over the years of being online, that the relationships that now again, I'm speaking for me, as always, my disclaimer, this is just my thoughts on this. Everybody's different, but whatever works. But anyway, yeah, these are my thoughts on this. The relationships that I've made over the course of the years with people I've met online through the advent of the internet are probably more involved in that you tend to know more about a person when you meet them online than you do when you meet them in person. And I say that because it seems to be a pattern. I guess it's just because of the avenue of meeting. You're not meeting face to face, and more often than not, you're clear across the country. You may even be in another country altogether. So the distance, of course, is there, and you can't be in person. So there you go, a little AOL sounds for the background. So you tend to, this is again my take on this, you tend to tell more about yourself when you're meeting somebody over the internet than when you meet in person. If you meet somebody in a bar, wherever, however you make friends and meet people traditionally, down the traditional avenues, you don't right off the bat say, hey, you get together for lunch or something and then just start rambling on. Most often, you don't. More often than not, you're not going to sit down with somebody and say, oh, you're having lunch and you just became friends or whatever, and now you're going to discuss, well, I have this many brothers and sisters, and I've had this job and that job, and this relationship went like this, and my aunt twice removed on the other side. These things, though, actually do come out when you're talking online. My thing on meeting online, I just feel like you find out more about a person a lot faster than you would when meeting in person for some reason or another. I don't know exactly why that is. I'm thinking I'm guessing that it's because when you're in person you feel like there's no urgency. You can see the person anytime you want, so you feel like, oh, in time they'll get to know me, and these things about my life and my family history and all this jazz will come out in time. But for some reason on the internet, you're not in person. It's not like you can say, how you enjoying that tuna melt, out to lunch or something. So basically you're sitting and what else you have to talk about but all this technical info, all this background history on your life. And so, but with that, I say they are lasting. Because the relationships I've made have been lasting, and they're real. There's no bullshit here. It's real, and for that I thank the internet and technology. Although I still like and miss the traditional ways of doing things back in the day when you. I do miss the traditional ways in that I'm a bit old-fashioned, and that remember back in the day when the phone would ring, you'd be calling somebody, you'd calling your friends or something, and the phone's ring and nobody's answering. You automatically knew this meant one of two things: either they were not home, or they were purposely not answering. That was it. It was no big deal. This is way back before voicemails, answer machines, call waiting, and all that jazz. You would call and get that busy signal. What did this tell you? It told you they're on the phone. You'll call them back. when the phone isn't busy. You just keep trying. And we got along just fine. Thinking about it, we got along just fine. There was no problem. Nobody had pagers, nobody had cell phones, nobody had none of that jazz. So, in one hand, it's a great thing. It just opens the world up, you know. It makes the world smaller. It opens it up, but it's making it smaller so that you can reach out and you can meet other people from all over, all walks of life, all over the globe, you know, and get to know different cultures and different ways of life and all kinds of good stuff. And meaningful relationships out of it all. So one last little thing on that. I find that for some reason, you just can't meet people that you actually connect with and really click with. It seems to be, for me anyway, in my local area, tends to be that they all live all scattered around the country. Not in the vicinity where I can hop in the car and say, hey, I'm going to stop by, we'll have some coffee, or why don't you stop by and sit on my lovely veranda and join me for a cup of Java. You know, I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is. And that's about it. I'm going to have to like pack up my shop here and take it inside as I wait for the impending afternoon torrential downpour thunderstorms that are notorious this time of year down South Florida. So, weekend, and I will see you again Monday. Don't forget, ride a lesbian. Bye-bye, kids.